Open Life. We tell stories, and our story is it's all about delays. It's all about delays. We're echoing, we're feeding back, we're playing back. This is just amateur hour here at this Australian Open Life. Welcome. We're here, we made it. Thanks for waiting for us. And what are we doing today? It's the long overdue qualifying preview of the US Open 2023. So let's all just take a deep breath. Don't go away. We'll be right back. And that's enough of that. So while we carry on with looking into the US Open, we're just going to leave you with the background for those of you watching along. We're going to take a look at the Shotmaker Showcase, and we'll start off with Indy DeVroom in qualifying at the Australian Open, and we'll just keep the sound off so that it's not too distracting. Yeah, we've got to keep the sound off because there's commentary over the top of these images. So let's take a look at recent results for the women. And we were pretty surprised to see the winner of the DC Open for the fourth time in her career, fourth title win, was COCO GAUFF. And beating MARIA SAKKARI. Bit of a surprise there because she had a very early exit from Wimbledon, and MARIA SAKKARI is no slouch. That was a month ago. She was really out of sorts after being handed an early plane ticket. To get through the DC Open Women's Final on Sunday, she beat MARIA SAKKARI 6-2, 6-3. That is a heck of an effort for the 19-year-old. And it turns out that she went to the DC Open in Washington. She's got two new additions to her team. A full-time coach, Pera Reba. Now, apologies if I pronounced that wrong. But her coach, he's interesting bloke. He's a Spanish tennis coach and a former tennis player, as most are, and he got as high as 65 in the singles in 2011, and got as high as 81 in the doubles in June 2010. So he's new full-time coach for COCO GAUFF, and definitely with her through the US Open. Brad Gilbert, he has been around the traps in everyone's box on the side of the court. Brad Gilbert, temporary consultant. So COCO GAUFF was thrilled. First tournament as a full team behind her, and got a great result. He's thanked her new team in the trophy ceremony, and she was. Just thrilled to be able to bounce back. Now, she's still the world number 7, and would you believe that she didn't drop a set all week in this hard court tournament? and she actually won the Auckland Classic in New Zealand in January 2023, and don't forget she was also runner-up at the French Open last year. Now she hit 7 aces, and she's in 4-1 in 2023 in Tour finals. And it turns out she's the first teenager to win 4 WTA tournaments since April 2009. And have a guess who the last one was? No, I can't hear you. Caroline Wozniacki. Sakkari, as you would expect, she was very gracious in defeat and telling COCO GAUFF that she deserved everything she's achieved. And still a young girl. You have a lot of time and a lot of success to come. So that was very gracious of MARIA SAKKARI, who's no doubt was disappointed because she was under a lot of pressure, obviously losing that first set and trying to equalise in the second. She briefly regrouped and broke immediately to open the second set, and then because COCO GAUFF dumped a drop shot into the net and her equipment bag with a racket, and Sakkari went to a 2-love lead, but double faulted and got broken to 3-all. And the errors kept coming, and it was all over she wrote. And the prize checks, COCO GAUFF earning US. That can't be right. That can't be right. She only won. It was Washington for the women was a 500 event, and COCO GAUFF only earned 120 grand US. Oh dear. That. All right, enough said. So that's the women. Now let's just take a short break, because coming up next we're going to take a quick look at some more women's results, some really random results throughout a few different tournaments over the last few days, couple of weeks. So don't go away. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back to this Australian Open Live, produced by Wise Words Media from our very luxurious production studios here in Melbourne, Australia. And the temperature outside is a very pleasant and not as brisk as the other day, 13.2 degrees at dusk as the sun's going down. So now we're just going to flick through the Shotmaker Showcase, because I've just seen it, one of our favourite players popping up for us to have a look at, which she comes from Japan. If his screen will just work for me, come on. There it goes. Where is she? Here she is. We've just seen one of our favourite Japanese tennis players to follow, which is Nao Hibino. There she's on screen. She was in qualifying playing Lucia Bronzetti of Italy, and I've just spotted a result or an upcoming game. Let's just get our facts straight here and straighten up. At the Live Sport Prague Open, the final coming up tonight, Melbourne time. The doubles, Nao Hibino partnering with Kalashnikova. And I just don't recognise that flag, so I'm not going to muck around and make you wait while I just check who that is, because we're just going to read the basics. And that's coming up tonight, Melbourne time, and they're playing against the American Gleason and the French woman Lechimia. So that final, great to see Hibino making that final, and that's at the Live Sport Prague Open. let's just take a look at some results here over the last couple of days, in fact probably overnight, and we'll just randomly pick some here because I've seen some familiar names and some not so familiar names. So we're just going to call out the country and the surname and the seeding for this, for whatever tournament they're in, and the results. So let's start off at the Omnium Banque Nationale Present par Rogers 2023 in France. Parks, the American, the number 2 seed, beating the Spaniard Buxa 6-1, 6-2. And we saw Buxa in Melbourne a couple of years ago, very good player. The Ukrainian Serenko defeating the American, the number 1 seed at the same tournament in Paris, and the Banque Nationale defeating Mandlik 6-4, 6-2. A couple of American women. Oh, there's Danielle Collins. Here's a couple of American women were up against each other. Now, this is in qualifying for this tournament, so bear in mind that this is for qualifying to get into the main draw. So, Day, the American, beat her countrywoman Vickery 6-2, 1-6, 6-3, and I can see Danielle Collins, who was beaten in the Australian Open Grand Slam of 2022, Ash Barty's first Australian Grand Slam and last ever match on the elite WTA Tennis Professional Tour. Danielle Collins, the 3rd seed in qualifying at the Banque Nationale tournament in France, beating her countrywoman Bektas in 2 hours 24 minutes, 7-5, 6-7. She lost that tiebreaker to 10-11, and then came home and took a tight 3rd set, 7-5. And of course, the final of the City DC Open, we've already said the 4th seed Sakkari losing to the 3rd seed Gauff 6-2, 6-3. And back in France, I told you to be random, and you can see that Kimberly Birrell winning her qualifying match against Putintseva. I'm not too sure what that flag is, but Birrell doing well, being the number 13 seed in qualifying, beating the number 7 seed in 1 hour and 26 minutes, 6-2, 6-4. Well done, Kimberly Birrell. And we'll just briefly go to another couple of ones, back to the live sport Prague Open in the singles, the semi-final. And have a look at this. Nao Hibino, the Japanese player who's currently on screen, strutting her stuff in the Shotmaker Showcase, and on screen about to serve there against the Italian Brachetti. And it turns out that, guess what, Nao Hibino, she won the semi-final. She's made the final of the doubles and the final of the singles at the Live Sport Prague Open, and she won her semi-final 6-4, 6-7, 5-2. Well done, you. And that's a great spot to finish off. Looking at the women's, I think here, you can see the Polish Open is underway at the moment as well, with some games coming up tonight, Australian time, Melbourne, Australia. Just looking to see if there's any interesting names here worth flagging. Azarenka is playing in the round of 64. She's the 16th seed when the tournament proper gets underway, playing tonight actually, and she's up against Azarenka, the 16th seed. She's up against the Polish player Lynette, and feel free to drop in any comments you have about these players, if any of them are your favourite. But I've just spotted another interesting familiar name, which is, would you believe, Lucia Bronzetti. She's playing in Paris, and she's up against Belinda Bencic, the number 12 seed at the Banque Nationale Open in the round of 64, and that is also tonight, Melbourne, Australian time. And Venus Williams popping up. She's playing Madeline Keys, who is the 13th seed, and Venus Williams, and in her early 40s, lost her opening match at Wimbledon, and she still is plugging away a very proud competitor. I can see Brady, the American, up against Ostapenko tonight, and also Katie Boulder, who had a ripping Wimbledon. She's up against Marino from Canada, and that's where we'll wrap it up there. So let us know what you think about those matchups and those results. But Nao Hibino serving on screen in her Shotmaker Showcase in qualifying at the Australian Open. And I'm just watching her reaction on screen at the moment. I think she sent that forehand wide. So now we're going to take a look at the recent results next for the ATP Men's Tour. And then we'll also take a look at some recent men's results on the ATP Tour. And we'll keep it reasonably short and sweet today. We've been going 25 minutes, so we want to just want to keep your attention. But also, the sun's going down here in Melbourne, and I can hear the kitchen calling me to get some chicken masala butter chicken going for dinner. So don't go away. We'll be right back. And that's enough of that. So, welcome back to this Australian Open Live. We tell stories, and our story is tennis. And really appreciate your company here during a very brisk Melbourne winter's late afternoon, early evening. It is a stinking hot 12.5 degrees here in Melbourne, and luckily today was very sunny and very pleasant. And but we do miss the sun, the sights, the sounds, the summer of tennis here. And the good thing is that it's only about 6 months away. So we're looking forward to bringing that to you, and we've enjoyed bringing to you this little excursion into a qualifying preview at the US Open 2023. So what's your thoughts? Some of the matches and the players that we had a bit of a chat about, what do you think? And who do you think's performing? Who do you think's not performing? Let us know in the comments, and please help us grow the audience. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you like this live stream episode, even if you don't. We're not too proud to admit that we're not everyone's cup of tea, but if you give us some feedback, that's the best way for us to evolve this presentation of these episodes, and make sure that we're covering the news and information that matters to you. So let us know what you think. And please, any feedback's more than welcome, because it generally generates ideas for us to research or comment on that we wouldn't be able to come up with by ourselves. So that's about it, I guess, for the moment. With a bit of luck, we'll be able to repeat our presentation of qualifying matches, which was a lot of fun for Wimbledon. And went down reasonably well. Not sure that we'll be able to go the whole hog into the depth and detail that we did for Wimbledon, but you never know. It's all good practice for the Australian Open 2024. So let us know what you think, and let us know what you're expecting. If you've got any predictions for the US Open, let us know. Who your favourite player is, or who you're really looking forward to seeing performing this time around. So for us, that's about it for now. And you're going to take a deep breath, have a cup of tea, and get that butter chicken masala going. You've been listening to The Bloke Who Walks, and produced by Wise Words Media. This has been the live presentation of qualifying preview for the US Open 2023, which will be, as usual, at the USTA Billie Jean National Tennis Centre in Flushing Meadow, Queens, New York. And if you can't be there, well, why not be with us? It might not be as good as the real thing, but at least we can all enjoy it together. That's all for now. Thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and bye for now.